What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Daily here for Friday, July 22nd, 2022. It is Del Mar opening day. It's day 7 of Saratoga. We got to carry over to Gulfstream. So Aaron's got a baseball bet. Anyway, Jared, Magic, Aaron, how's it going, guys? How we doing here?
Woo! Great. Go to this guy first.
Del Mar opening day, baby.
Yeah, you want to explain the outfit, Magic?
Listen, it's where the surf meets the turf. It's going to be great. It's beach day, opening day, so I'm ready. I got my swim trunks on. I got my flippy floppies. I got my suntan lotion. I got my beach cup. I'm ready. Let's go, baby. It's Del Mar opening day.
Aaron, comments.
I got up too early to deal with Magic today.
I want whatever he's on.
Yeah, me too.
Come to California. It's legal.
It's legal here in New York as well. I don't know about you, Jared. Jared's in Missouri. You're the only one who might not be able to partake if you wanted to.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm the only one in the middle of the country here that's, I have no chance now. You guys all live on the, beach and New York. Like you forget about the guy in the middle of the country here. We have no chance of that being legal right now.
No. We have no chance of anything fun ever being legal in Missouri.
That's true. Yeah, we can't bet on sports.
No,
legally.
But you can. You can go to BetPTC and sign up with promo code DUDES and bet on the horses, right, Aaron?
Somehow, yes, you can. Not at any other website, but yes, at BetPTC, they do allow Missouri residents to bet on the horses. So we do have that going for us. So somehow they've found a way to do it, and we're very thankful for that.
I know Jared's been firing away over at horse tourneys as well, trying to get in the spa and surf. Jared, are you going to get back in that tournament today?
Yes. Thanks to you.
Boy.
I ran it back. It did not go well. I did well on Sunday. Got my money back. Then rolled it back Wednesday. Did not. I'd like there's 12 races in that tournament. I think I had 7 seconds. It was brutal all day long. But yeah, I'm a degenerate, so I can't help but go back to it. So.
I love it. And Shadi's saying she wished there was a Dudes tournament today. Don't worry, 1 week from today, we will be back with the Racing Dudes tournament. So if you're a subscriber, make sure you check that out. Without further ado, let's talk a little bit about Del Mar and Saratoga. A couple of the guys on the broadcast stealing my thunder a little bit and picked the stakes race. So we're going to hold off on talking about the stakes races right out of the gate. We do have a horse that our boy Saratoga Slim absolutely loves here in the first race at Saratoga. We're going to see the first horse here from the Joseph O'Brien barn. First race at Saratoga, guys. Really fun turf sprint. A couple Wesley Wards. You got a nice Pletcher in there. Who wants to get it? Let's go with Aaron. Top pick in the first race. Who you like?
I did go with Slim's horse, the 4. It's hard to go against Slim after he went all the way overseas to interview the trainer. So I did. Hey, listen, this thing's wide open. The 3's got a shot. The 1's got a shot. The 2 will probably run better second out. Yeah, but I do think Alexis Zorba is going to be pretty, or Zorba is going to be pretty tough in this spot. Has ran a couple times. It was close, both times overseas. So you'd think that would translate to, having a pretty good chance at winning here. So I went with Slim's horse on top. I did spread in that race, though. I'm not going to single or anything like that.
Yeah, we got 2 wards. And interestingly enough, Irad rides Wicco the first race and then gets off for the 3-horse Albie Ike here in the second start of that horse's career. Jared, did you prefer the 2 over the 3? Did you have a feeling for the ward? You using either of them?
Yeah, I kind of, I don't know. I don't know about you, but that made me kind of, okay. I think there was enough, that decision, plus the fact that you're getting the equipment change. I always like that angle when you got a young horse. So yeah, the 3 sitting there at 6-1 is a lot more enticing to me than the 2 at 5-2, especially considering neither one really ran that well on their debut. So both are eligible to improve, and I just think that you're getting better value. I mean, if Alexis Zorba, whatever, it stays at 4-1, that's interesting. That's a pretty big, 9-5 morning line. So, I think that horse merits a lot of respect as well. I'm trying not to get too, I know because who it is, and Slim's, travel across the world. I want to pick him, but I don't know. The 3 is interesting to me.
Yeah, I was interested a little bit in the 3. I kind of like the 1 out of the Pletcher barn. I think the horse has a big chance taking a step forward here, second time out. And obviously with Joseph O'Brien only sending over 3 horses, it's interesting. 2 of them are maidens. You have 1 here. I believe there's 1 tomorrow as well. So some interesting horses that Joseph O'Brien debuting here at Saratoga. Magic, you're all about the beach. You're all about Del Mar.
Yeah.
we got the feature. You're not allowed to talk about it because you bet on it. Who do you like today outside of that feature race? What race are you excited to see down at Del Mar?
At Del Mar, listen, the first race is always an exciting one just because they start in front of the grandstand and you get to hear Trevor Denman for the first time in 3 years. Yeah, first time in 3 years we'll get him. They're sold out. They're not going to have 40,000 like in the past. It's limited, but it's still going to feel like a sold out crowd there. I'm really excited. If you want to talk outside of that, I think the 9th race, the Oceanside Stakes is race 8. That's my bet. But race 9 has got some interesting horses in there as well. Just full fields all over the place. So, you can try and figure out a Bob Baffert horse, a Peter Miller horse, a Robertina Diodoro horse. Just an exciting time to be betting Del Mar.
Yeah, I definitely want to give Del Mar credit for that. We've got 14 in the second race. That makes the early pick 5 rather difficult. You've got, I believe it's fields of 11, 12, and 11 to close out the day in the last 3, which makes the late pick 5 awfully difficult unless you're trying to find a single somewhere there. So the multi-race sequences should pay pretty well at Del Mar here to kick off the meet. Now, before we get into the best bets of the day, I gave you guys some homework here. We each got to pick a long shot that we like. Aaron Halterman, who's your long shot of the day? Either track.
Hey, Magic mentioned Del Mar race 9. Kid Corleone at 10-1. That's going to be my long shot of the day there at Del Mar. Listen, this horse was really, really good as a 2-year-old. So good that I drafted him in the fantasy league. Now, how did that go? Well, not very well because this is his first start as a 3-year-old. So this horse beat Sir London back when Sir London could actually put one foot in front of the other. That's not the case now. But in that race, he looked very, very good. Sir London came back to romp. I think Kid Corleone coming back here, it kind of just seems like they've, maybe they could have ran him at Los Al or something, but they waited for the spot. It's a very tough race. I want to get, 10-1 on him, but if we do, I like him. So I'm going to go Kid Corleone, the number 10 in the 9th race.
I like it. I have him in my pick 5, so I like that selection there. Jared, where are you headed for a long shot of the day?
It's funny. I knew that name sounded familiar. I was like, when I was going through the races, like, I know that. If I bet this for, I was like, surely I haven't. Okay, that makes sense now. I love Del Mar. It's one of my favorite meets and I know you do too, Somich, because you can go price hunting all day long and get them home. I'm going with Del Mar, and I'll go to race 7. It's a maiden special weight, which I don't think is an overly great talent-wise race. So I'm going to go I'm going to go 20-1 morning line. How about that? Number 7, Waiting on Wendy. How about this horse? I think this is interesting because the horse was first of all, the horse was purchased for $510,000. Shelby Ruiz trained. Debuted at Los Al last year, the end of the year in December, was not good. Of course, did get pounded by a Baffert, freak that day, but was not good. But obviously the hopes were there. The expectations were there with that kind of purchase price. And then you're getting the second back. The horse has to be better than that. And now you're getting, Lasix, and now you're getting blinkers on. Then there's enough there for me to give this horse one more chance. And, the breeding, like, this horse should be good, at least should be better than beating 15 lengths, getting 8th last time. So in a race that I don't think is that good, I'm going to give a horse that's way, way, way high on the morning line and probably will get very little play based on the connections. One more chance. And I do think the horse has a little bit of speed as well. So I think maybe if they can get out there and just say, you get blinkers on, you just try to steal this thing.
Good pick. My second pick in the race. I like it. That was one that I tagged as well that I'm using in my late pick 5 too. Like I said, this late pick 5 at Del Mar could pay stacks if the Oceanside gets a little funky. Magic, long shot of the day. Where are you going?
Hey, let's stay at Del Mar. Quick note, I'm Waiting on Wendy, by the way.
4 Del Mar long shots. I love it.
The Waiting on Wendy, named for Mick Ruiz's wife and Shelby Ruiz's mother, Wendy. So always good to know when there's a horse from a family like the Ruizes, who they have a lot of horses in training and they buy a lot of horses. So to name one after the matriarch is not a small deal for them. So I love that pick as well. But I'm going to go to race 5. We've got 2-year-old fillies, Calbreds, and this is where shit can get really weird really fast. You've got a bunch of sires in here that probably you don't even remember from when they actually raced, unless you're Aaron Halterman. So I'm going to go with a horse that is making Oddly enough, her 4th career start already. Number 10, The Rain Song. She's 6-1 on the morning line here. First time with Steve Knapp after 3 starts with Walter Solis, who's usually pretty decent with 2-year-olds. He also has the 5-2 favorite in the 9 in here. But the 10 is a horse that was she was well regarded early when she was coming out in those 4.5 furlong sprints. Didn't run very well. Tyler Bayes got aboard her when she was at Los Al, and a little bit of a different change of scenery from Santa Anita. They completely ignored her on the board, and she almost won at 9-1. I love Safe Thirsty as a California sire. Steve Knapp is very solid with 2-year-olds and getting them added in here. She's been working really well at Del Mar, which is not something most of these horses even touched yet. So I'm going to go with the 10, The Rain Song, and race 5 as my long shot. 6-1 morning line. I think we're going to get every bit of that.
I love it, man. I'm going to go one race earlier and play another long shot here in the early pick 5. Give me the number 5 horse, Wine and Whiskey. This is a race that has a ridiculous amount of pace. They're going to be going a mile. The 5 horse should get an absolute dream trip here. Tamayo has multiple races on the back page that fit for this horse to be able to win the race. I like Herrera as a younger jockey being able to get the job done. I think you're going to get every bit of a pace setup here for the 5 horse Wine and Whiskey to get the job done at 12-1 in the 4th at Del Mar. So we're all going long shots from Del Mar. That's kind of interesting. I'm surprised there. Saratoga I thought was tough today. It was a lot of horses that I like that are in that 9-2 range, but not a lot of those 10 or 15-1 shots. And those big fields at Del Mar really kind of played toward that. Now let's get into the best bets for the day here. Aaron Halterman, you went baseball, so you're going to kick us off here. Who you got?
Yeah, I was just kind of glancing through the baseball, and I thought, why are the Rays only favored minus 130 against Kansas City? I mean, I'll keep it really short. Kansas City's awful. Tampa Bay's pretty darn good. You look at the pitching matchup, Tampa Bay's got a better pitcher. I think Tampa Bay wins, and if they lose, I will never give another baseball pick again. That's how much I think they're a lock. So I went Tampa Bay minus 130.
That's the point of the show. I don't hate it. I actually am proud of you for having enough conviction here. It's like my Indians play the other day when I passed up on all the horse racing because I love the Indians. I like the conviction there.
Well, I'm going to hate the Rays and every Tampa Bay Ray uniform and shirt and even the actual animal, the stingray, if they lose. So
I hate on the stingray, man. It's fun to pet those things at aquariums. All right, I'm going to go to Saratoga. I'm going to go race number 8. I'm going to take the number 3 horse, Cocopelli, out of the Christophe Clement barn here. This horse is coming back off the layoff, a long layoff, but Clement very good off those layoffs. This is a 4-year-old. I'm going to make sure I get the sex right here. 4-year-old daughter of Into Mischief, who has been training out of her skin, and you're going to get every bit of this 92 price. I think we're going to get probably somewhere right around 4-1 or 5-1 when this race actually goes off. The pace sets up well for this. You got Rosario, who I like in those turf sprints. You've got Clement, who I like in those turf sprints. This one to me is a overlay on the board, and I think you're going to get every bit of that 92 price. Aaron, you seem like you like this horse.
Fantastic pick. Yep, I love that horse. I've got that horse on top. I hope we get 92. I think it's a perfect spot for that horse. I think comes back off the layoff and runs well.
So hopefully, yeah, the 9-2 would be great. I love picking up 4.5 units here with a nice little win bet. All right, Jared, you're going to the feature at Saratoga. So let's talk a little bit about that race. The Glens Falls today, interesting race. You got 2 in there for Chad Brown. Looks like it's pretty wide open. You're going to give us a top pick there. So who do you like there, Jared?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? We can just go single in the sequence here with our 2 plays. How about number 6, Imminent Victor? That's my top play of the race. I thought about doing something creative with an exacta. I like the I like the 4 Koala Princess and Skims, the 8 horse a little bit. So I thought about playing like a 6 over 4-8. But then I thought, you're getting 5-2 on the morning line, and the fact that even though it's not it's on a huge field of 9, there's enough talent in this race where you probably will get 2-1, 8-5, somewhere in there with the 6. I think last time out this horse was really good in that Wild Applause. We hadn't seen that horse since September of last year. For those that have forgotten, we talked a lot about this horse back last year because it was so weird. This horse was at, Arlington Park on synthetics and then went to Chad Brown, new ownership, all that stuff. So that took you, by notice, and then went straight to the Natalmo, which, Chad Brown's known to do with good horses. Wild Beauty, Pisa Bianca beat this horse, nothing to be upset about. And then obviously that long layoff comes back and wins that Wild Applause and did it pretty impressively that day. You got to think he'll be better. Right, or she'll be better here because, off that kind of layoff, second off. So I really like that angle. You get Pratt back aboard. And I just feel like this is kind of his distance horse. So this is the mile filly that he's got in this race, and I think she'll be awful tough to beat. She looked too good last time, so I think she's going to be. I think she's a winner. Number 6, Imminent Victor.
And this is, in my mind, definitely the Brown that you want to lean toward if you're going to play one here. Not a ton of speed in this race. It'll be interesting with El Chiara, who's going to make the pace here early for the Mott Barn. You have Dochizelle, the other Brown horse, is going to be pretty forwardly placed. Aaron, how did you see the Lake George going?
I have the same pick on top, but I'm telling you, that's going to be a big test for that horse. There's a lot of little trap horses, as I like to call them, that can win there. They could jump up, including the stablemate. Including the 3 for Bill Mott getting to the turf, including Skims, the 8 horse, and you could keep on going. I've got that horse on top, though. I think Imminent Victor's going to run well, but it's a tough one. It's going to be a tough race, and I think you'll actually get 8-5, 2-1. I mean, you should. Nobody should really be under that price in this race.
Yeah, I agree with Aaron on that front. I think 5-2 actually is not that big of a pipe dream. I think this is a pretty tough race. I'm going 4 deep there, but I do have Imminent Victor on top as well. Now let's head back out to the beach. Magic, you're playing the Oceanside Stakes. Give us a little insight here. Who should we be taking?
Listen, I know it's chalky, but I love McKinnon in here. I've been excited about McKinnon coming back for this race for about a month now, because I'd heard that, if you look back at the horse's performances as a 2-year-old, was easily the best 2-year-old on the West Coast, so much so that he, gets 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf with a really fantastic effort here. The horse loves Del Mar, 2 for 3 over the course in mile races. You see he wins the Del Mar Juvenile Turf Stakes. Juan Hernandez is the top rider right now in California. Doug O'Neill aims for the Del Mar meet with a lot of these horses. But specifically when the El Camino Real Derby, when they didn't win, and they realized we definitely do not have a Derby trail horse, Doug O'Neill did the smart thing, and he said, stop. We're going to wait for Del Mar for this horse because we're going to clean the F up with him. I love that he drew the rail here. He's a horse that likes to be a little close to the pace, but speed going 2 turns early in the meet at Del Mar on turf is just trash. So the fact that he's not a speed need the lead type is really great. I know it's 5-2. It's not great price-wise, but I think McKinnon is definitely going to win this. He's been working lights out. Like I said, they've been aiming for this race and this meet with this horse since February. So I'm going to use him on top. I think if you want a couple prices underneath, I almost was going to do an exacta box with the 6 Castle Yoke, who's 8-1. It's real interesting. Wesley Ward ships this horse out to California to Del Mar when they have the ship and win program that doesn't qualify for stakes. So you could have sent this horse out here for an N2X optional claiming race going 2 turns if you wanted and gotten that ship and win bonus. Instead, they're in $100,000 restricted stakes with him. So he's got a lot of talent. He's won at Kentucky Downs. He's won at Belmont. He's done well at Saratoga. So we'll see how he handles being in California and what Mike Smith can do. But it's very intriguing that he shows up here. So if you want to play an exacta, 1-6, but McKinnon to me, get a little extra suntan lotion on me here. It's going to be hot and beautiful.
Coming off a Stanley Cup victory, McKinnon trying to take the Oceanside Stakes. I thought Castle Yoke was really interesting as well. Wesley Ward not known for shipping out to California. Like you said, this is an interesting spot to not qualify for the ship and win. And also, just nosed out credit event, a Chad Brown horse who came back and absolutely aired at Saratoga on opening weekend as well. So that race came back pretty solid. Jared, any thoughts on the Oceanside? We got a full field of 14 going to starting gate in here. You're coming for a price, you're going to chalk it out and take the favorite like Magic did.
I mean, it definitely has the makings of obviously has the makings of the race that, I went with Lake George, where you could be right and wrong in the same race. Imminent Victor could run really well and just get nosed out. And the one here could run really well. Del Mar is kind of especially known for that in Del Mar turf. I don't know. I think that horse makes the most sense. Have you guys looked at Anmer Hall at all? I know the time for numbers on this horse were not good. And I think I'm biased a little bit because I remember using this horse on debut in a tournament, I think, they got 5 or 6-1 with, the Peter Miller angle. But
was that the other Miller in a January
yes,
tournament?
It was the other Miller. I was red hot with the other Miller for 2 months straight there. Yeah. But yeah, that was the other Miller that day. I believe it was back in August of last year. But anyways, the horse that was on turf. The next race out, the allowance race, was back on dirt, and then hadn't seen the horse since. That was, I should say that was the layoff, and then we haven't seen the horse back on turf since that debut. So at 20-1, I think the horse is interesting. I just don't know, Magic, do you have any feel for what Peter Miller is going to do coming back? I mean, what was the vacation like? Did he go to Mexico? Like, what are we working with here?
Literally, Peter Miller was fined by the state of California because he did not stay away while he was retired, spending time with family. It's the biggest crock of shit since basketball opened his mouth in California. It's ridiculous. Hey. Peter Miller's been training. Everybody knew it, and literally the state had to step in and say, here, $15,000 fine because you're so blatant about it. Peter Miller's going to come out firing. Peter Miller waited to retire and hide from the CHRB when Del Mar ended last fall. It's magical that he shows up right before Del Mar is back again, 6 months to the day from his retirement bullshit. Can you sense how I'm feeling about this whole situation? Peter Miller is going to clean up at Del Mar. Yeah, no, can't figure it out at all.
That's your returning champion trainer too, isn't it?
Watch out for Ramon Vasquez too. Like Ramon Vasquez is getting a lot of his horses. It's awesome. I didn't hear what you said, Somich.
I would not be surprised if Peter Miller goes back-to-back and wins the Del Mar training title once again, which would be kind of shocking there. All right, before we go, we've got a big day tomorrow as well. I want to make sure I let everyone know we've got the Haskell coming up from Monmouth. We've got Saratoga. We've got Del Mar, so it's going to be a massive day of racing tomorrow as well. We'll be back at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock West Coast time, Magic's time, noon Eastern, for more Dudes Who Bet Daily tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. The Haskell Guide already out right now. Check that out over at racingdudes.com. If you want to play anything over the weekend, go to BetPTC. Trying to do this without laughing because of magic. Go over to BetPTC. Use promo codes DUDES to sign up. Get a $200 bonus there. So make sure you check that out. All right, let's run through the bets real quick. So far for the week, we are 3-4, but we're up just a tiny smidge there after a 1-3 day yesterday. Both Aaron and I's horses ran second. Anyway, Aaron going to baseball. He's going to take the Tampa Bay Devil Rays -130. Magic going to the Oceanside Stakes. Del Mar race 8. Number 1 McKinnon 5-2. Book it. Jared headed to Saratoga for the feature, the Lake George there, taking the number 6 horse 5-2 on the morning line, and I'll close it out at Saratoga race 8. Give me the number 3 Cocopele 9-2 on the morning line. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back at it tomorrow at noon Eastern for Dudes Who Bet Daily. Make sure you check out the Magic Mike Show. Make sure you check out Blinkers Off. We got previews for all these races over at the YouTube channel. So if you aren't subscribed, hit that button down below. We'll see you guys at the track.